Yo-yo has never been out of the system. Basically, it was there along with the 2K run. It has been used for selection processes for quite some time now, and it's coming back. And the DEXA scan, of course, it's a good thing which it was recommended way back. Now, at least, I mean, the things are moving in a. I think there need to be some start somewhere. I see it that way, and very important is to set the processes and protocols in place. You need to start somewhere. You need to get into a very professional mode rather than just talking theories till the cows come home. It's a good thing, but I would recommend them to add a couple of more tests, in fact, to according to the skill. What a batters require, or what a wicket keeper require, or a spinner require, or a fast bowler is required. Maybe that will add on to the entire gamut of fitness scenario.
What is the curious case of the this? What is the curious case of
I didn't hear
your
that.
test?
Can you
And
try again?
can you please explain how the your test works?
Sorry.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Yeah. So my question to you, what is the sir?
I lost
My
you.
question. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. My question is to you. What is the curious case of your test? And can you please explain how the your test works to our audience?
There's nothing curious about it. It has been done for donkeys years for the soccer players, and they adapted to which we have used it in Pace Foundation way back in 2009. Yo-yo test, and we used to do this instead of DEXA scan. That time there was a thing called body impedance testing to understand the body fat and lean muscle mal ratios. We used to do that way back in 96, 97 to understand the body fat capacity. And yo-yo was introduced in 2008 9. Before that we were doing beep run, which is equally tough, very tough to do beep to understand the aerobic fitness. Similarly, since cricket is a intermediate energy level system and a stop and go sport, yo-yo is uh, it's good. It's one way of understanding aerobic fitness, but it is not. There are many ways to skin a cat. uh, it is easy. One thing, it's easy to do yo-yo anywhere, but one of the thing, if you want a consistent result over a period of time, you need to do at the same, preferably the same protocols are followed to get the desired consistent desired results. So yeah, there are various methodologies in doing yo-yo. You have 2 3 protocols in that, what you wanted to do, where you wanted to test the athlete, at which stage. Now those things are very important also. you know uh, what I would say is both 2K or 2.4K or 1.5K and yo-yo can be incorporated too, depending on season, whether they are in off season, whether they are in season, when you want to do the testing, what time you want to do the testing, what you want to garner from the test, which is very important. you know uh, there are so many facets to it. It's not just black and white, what we see. you know there are so many facets to the fitness testing protocols. To be on the information side, these tests have been there for a long period of time. Most of the tests have been there for decades. Coming of technology, when using technology, and other countries have started to use uh, amazing level of biosensors and other things, where from visual reality to understanding human movement through various sensors. In the future, fitness testing may become redundant, because at every stage you can have access information regarding the player's fitness levels, both physiological and psychological aspect of it, at any point of time. So you can predict injuries to an extent, when the person is having a niggle, and when the person is peaking, when the person is hitting the trough, you exactly know what is happening. So technology in the future is going to play a very, very big role in understanding the physiological and the psychological aspect of an athlete. Not only cricketers, but mostly other athletes.
So, how can you gauge a player if he's fit or not? So, what is the criteria? Like this guy's fit, this guy done, and we can pick his
So we
in
need
the
to have our
team.
own data in India. Boss, we cannot go by into what the Australians are doing, what the New Zealand guys are doing, or the English guys are doing, or South African guys are doing. You cannot set a parameter. You need to have data of our players. You need to have a base reference point. You cannot have a reference point according to your convenience. We need to have a reference point. Who is the highest? Who is doing the highest? What is the skill set of the person who is doing the highest? You need to have a reference point for every skill for our players. So we always like to compare our players to soccer players or tennis players and other thing. How do you compare it? How do you guys do it? In what parameter you are comparing a cricketer to a tennis player or a soccer player? What basis? What is the scientific validation behind that? We need to have our own data. Unless and until we have our own data of our own cricket players and women, both men and women, we are dog chasing its own tail. We have to look out for reference point where the person is fit or not, whether they reach certain level or not, whether they have to reach certain level or not. This is the beginning where we need to collect data. Unless and until you have data of our own players during various courses, during various time during the year, and it's a lot of data to be collected. Until and unless, it's very, very difficult to say he is the fittest cricketer in the country, he is the fittest cricketer in the world. You can never say that. In what parameter you are measuring, what parameter you are looking at. Is it one parameter you're looking at to declare him fit, or multi-parameter you're looking to declare a person the best athlete possible in that particular scene, in that particular game, or in a particular sport, or a particular skill? It cannot be world class. You cannot compare to an athlete from NBA or rugby union or Australian rules football, or rugby players from South Africa or
Correct,
New
correct.
Zealand, etc., etc. But we need to have, end of the day, we need to have our own data to declare a person what level of fitness is required and standardized it. Once you standardize it, then you have a focal point to understand, to get set a goal for each and every player. That is very important. That is very critical. Unless or until we have the data for our own standard, we are going by a borrowed knowledge. That that's my take on it. No, you can
Okay,
say, or
and
no point reinventing the wheel again and again and again. Okay, you have to constantly reinvent, constantly keep progressing. What has invented in the wheel invented in India or Egypt way back? Is it the same wheel can be fitted into Formula One, or a wheel which is spinning in what do you call it? What is that called? Hello,
hello,
hello.
hello. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir. I can hear you, sir. Yeah,
Yeah. So we need to have our end of the thing. My take on it: we need to have our own data of our own players to understand our boys better. You know,
yeah.
we need to do a lot of research. We need to have interns doing work on the players in NCA or with state associations. That will bring in loads and loads of fresh mind and fresh thought into the ecosystem. There are a lot of youngsters, those who have finished sports science, strength and masters in sports strength and conditioning, or exercise physiology, to share the findings. We need to have more interns doing research. in our country for our own athletes, for our own good. So we have to look at 10 years down the line. It is not tomorrow or preparing for Olympics or Asian Games or next year Olympics. Preparing, start now. It should have started 4 years back. Preparing for next Olympics, you cannot start a month ahead. So we need to fall back on something with our own data. That is important.
Okay.
Otherwise, you cannot. It is very difficult, especially in the game of cricket, to clearly say which comes first, whether fitness or skill. There is still a debate going on. Fitness has to enhance the skill. End of the day, any sport, skill set is the most important thing. There are soccer players, those who are supremely fit. Why they are not able to make it to the side? They are fitter than some of the players, those who are playing in the 11. Why they are not able to make the transition has not happened from fitness to skill, which is very critical. Adaptability. If you adapt what you're doing on off field, and the support staff, they are not able to transfer what is happening off field, especially in strength and conditioning and parameters, to skill set, then there is something wrong. Then there is something missing in the system.